Welcome to Bay Sunday. I'm your host, Kenny Choi. Go get the kids. Our first guests this morning are really small, very cool. That's because they're bugs. Norman Gerschenz is the CEO of SaveNature.org and co-founded its Insect Discovery Lab. It's a hands-on program that brings bugs to schools, parties, and this morning, of course, to our studio. Welcome, Norman, to the show.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
So what is that you have in your hand right there?
Well, this is an eastern lubber grasshopper. And in fact, put your hand flat for a moment. Right. There we go. And so the question that is on everyone's mind, of course, is why isn't it flying away?
Right.
Well, that's because it has these warning colors. Red, yellow, orange, and black in nature means warning, warning. And that means I'm dangerous, I'm poisonous, or I taste terrible.
Okay.
And this animal tastes terrible. So if a bird were to eat it, it would go, blah, spit it out. And the next day that bird knows, red, yellow, orange, and black, I better not be eating it.
And I'm having a hard time concentrating because it's kind of crawling up my
no,
arm
it's not.
But it's not, yeah, it feels okay.
But the amazing thing is that the Insect Discovery Lab goes out all across the Bay Area, and we actually inspire children to save nature around the world. Rainforests, coral reefs, deserts, and we do it with insects because if you put nature into someone's hand, the next step is, why don't we save it? And that's exactly what we do. But we have some spectacular things that I do want to show you.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Just show me.
You can't hold them all at the same time.
All the kids watching must be fascinated. So how did you start this program, and what was the inspiration?
Well, the inspiration was that we needed to know how to save these things in the wild. And we know that it's difficult to save pandas and tigers and bears, but if we're saving entire ecosystems, that's the way to do it. So if this animal's endangered, this is an Australian walking stick.
Right.
And it's doing what it likes to do. It stands very still. But the claim to fame here is that it rolls up to mimic a scorpion.
Wow.
Put your hand flat for a second. Feels a little bit like a rose bush.
Okay.
And of course, camouflage is the key here. Okay. But once children hold these, and everyone gets to hold them, and you know, to be honest, it's not just the Insect Discovery Lab going to schools and libraries, and they should all call us to book us right away, but we also come cocktail parties. So your next cocktail party, I would say you'd want to have the Insect Discovery Lab.
Well, it certainly grabs your attention.
It does, and so there's a lot of amazing things. So there's many walking sticks on Earth. This one we'll put upside down for a moment.
What else do we have? So when you bring this insect lab to schools and parties, it immediately grabs everyone's attention. You must have met so many people who have been inspired by what you're doing.
Actually, that's an amazing question you asked that, because recently, this ages me a little bit, but I got an email from a young man who says, I'm getting my second year in Oregon.
Right.
You came to my 4th grade class. Yeah. And everybody around me says, wow, you must be really proud. And I said, no, it makes me feel really old. But here, this is a Malaysian walking stick, and this one definitely feels like a rose bush. Right. But the color, obviously, camouflage is key here. Right. And people ask me, is this an endangered species? And I said, I'm not sure. But we know for sure the forests are endangered. So if we have the opportunity through our Adopt an Acre program to save these places, we'll be able to save something like this so people that we inspire can go study them much later on.
And how do you take care of these insects? Because I know you have several here.
Yes. Well,
they must have certain conditions.
We have a full lab, and actually we breed everything that I'm showing you here. Right. So just like here, let me bring this back. Just like the zoo world, when you run out of cheetahs, you don't say, gee whiz, you know, we're out of cheetahs. We have to get some more from the wild. Sure. So the key thing is we have to breed them in captivity. Okay. Now, not everything has 6 legs. Right. We do have something, put both hands flat for a second. This is a giant African millipede. There she is. She's spectacular. That's about as big as they get. They're probably, you know, they get to be 7 years old or so. And but this is not an insect. This has many legs. And so we have millipedes right here in the Bay Area in your garden. But this one's from Africa. This is a giant African millipede.
Not quite 1,000 legs, though.
No, actually never 1,000 legs. And if I were to show people on camera, I don't know how close they can get.
We could see it right
but if you look underneath, there are 2 legs on each side of every single segment. So the way that we know how many legs this animal has is all we have to do is count all the segments. Let's do that together. So it has 60 segments.
Okay.
So 240 legs.
Sure.
And if you go into the garden, your millipedes in the garden have 4 legs on every segment. So here, one more time, go ahead.
Yep.
So the Insect Discovery Lab, actually, we are going to have an Insect Palooza 2.0, a happy hour for adults and children and families, and that's going to be in June 2nd with at Pier 70. And we also have an after-school program, which not only has insects, but also has all science curriculum. So after-school program, it's called Nature Connection. And, you know, now I would bet the lottery since it pooed on you. So.
Right here.
So.
It's all right.
And what else I want to show you, I know we have just a little bit of time, but this is, everybody, you know, knows these animals. This is called a Madagascar hissing cockroach. And people know it from TV, but actually, they're quite remarkable. They do make a sound. I doubt if they'll make it right now, but it's a hissing sound. It doesn't come from its mouth. It comes from underneath, and it's a way to communicate with each other, also to say, don't eat me, you know, because...
Cue the bug. Make the sound.
There we go.
All right.
But there it is. But like I said, the Insect Discovery Lab does 800 programs every year. We reach about 38,000 kids just here in the Bay Area.
That's fascinating. Norman, thank you so much for joining us, and we want to thank these critters and insects as well for joining us here on Bay Sunday. For more information, you could log on to savenature.org. That's savenature.org. Coming up, a medical breakthrough for diabetes patients when Bay Sunday continues after this break.